Hello, everyone. This is High Priestess Jamila. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Actually, you know what? I made up that song. So I'm going to start singing that song. Hello, hello. What a wonderful day it is. I'm going to tell you why. Because no matter where you are at in your life, you can always make changes. Okay? And I'm not on camera today because I am multitasking. I'm actually getting a jar together, doing some client work here. Okay? And so I'm multitasking because I'm about to relax for the rest of the evening and chill out. I want to come and talk to y'all real quick. Because, honestly, I got to say this to some of these people on here that are hurting every day. They have really, really bad hurt inner children. Having an understanding of something is very, very powerful, first of all. Having an understanding something will save you a lot of heartache, a lot of heartbreak. It will save you. Okay? And I can't keep getting interrupted. I can't. And so I wanted to come and talk to some of the people on here who obviously have complexes, insecurities. They have trauma from their childhood, which really, to be honest with you, I'm just going to keep it real. A lot of the traumas that some of these people have that may have been created by other people, other children, other adults, depending on what that trauma was. I mean, now, if you've got some kind of sexual trauma, that's a whole other ballgame. And so I don't stand in judgment of anyone. I just want to come and speak a little bit. Hey, Rochelle. Hello. I want to come and speak a little bit about people that obviously have a lot of trauma from their childhood. Um, and they carry it with them for so long. And, you can just about guess what the trauma is related to. And I'm going to tell you something. I grew up poor. You know what I'm saying? I had both of my parents. I didn't have the best shoes in the world. I didn't have the best clothes in the world. In fact, when I was in school, I dealt with a lot of isolation, stigmatization, because I wasn't the popular kid, okay? I wasn't like, what I'm saying, in the it club, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay. Because a lot of times, sometimes, honestly, you don't want to be in the it club. Now, if the it club included people like Alicia Silverstone and Clueless, they were really sweet. Y'all remember that movie Clueless? And how sweet she was, you know what I'm saying? Remember how she took in, I can't think of her name, and she actually died of like a drug overdose or something. Anyway, Y'all remember that movie? Why I can't think of that girl's name, the white girl's name. Got a lot of people that have a lot of trauma, and they're on YouTube hating. Honestly, it can get rather daunting, to say the least. Because if you had a parent that did the best that they could, that was the best that they could. Most of us strive for the best, but I can tell you that all of the attacks, um, the craziness doesn't help anybody. It doesn't. And it's never going to help. Never going to help you get over your childhood, attacking and harassing other people. Never going to make things better. It isn't. And I'm just going to keep it real with you. A lot of people really had nothing to really complain about in their childhood. There was a lot of people that had it all, and for some reason it just wasn't good enough. So you got those types too, and then you got the people that have a valid complaint against their parents, especially if your parent is still trying to. If you have a parent that is either trying to sacrifice you or do harm to you up into your adulthood, trust me, I have heard horror stories. People have parents that attack their kids. If you constantly run behind a child and you're constantly berating them and you're constantly putting them down and you're constantly verbally abusing them, that is not going to do that child any good. And even as an adult, most of us, benefit from a more positive environment. So I can tell you straight up and down, the negativity ain't good for nobody. But nobody's gonna just get kicked around. You send somebody some negative energy and misplaced judgment. Hey, I just had somebody try to tell me that I guess I was an awful mother because my son had a shirt on that was clean and the shirt I guess was too old for her liking. Well, things like that when you're picking somebody apart rarely has anything to do with that person. It has to do with you trying to cover up your demons or you to deal with your demons. So please believe that there's a lot of people on here and they will try to personally involve you. You um, for okay, we're all, but if you are somebody that is so hurt about everything, if you're somebody that's still hurting over, maybe it could be a serious situation or maybe it's a non-serious situation. If you're still hurting over that, attacking, I have a personal opinion that these people that attack people with children on here, it is because they are dealing with unresolved trauma. They just pick people apart because nobody needs to. I can tell you that I know how to protect myself from it because those are very lower vibrational frequencies. You know, I mean, I found out just how horrible people can be, especially on YouTube.com. When my mother passed away and I was being attacked, it made absolutely absolutely no sense to be attacking somebody, like literally attacking them like you're gonna just you think you're just gonna strike while the iron is hot and you're attacking that person when they're grieving and going through the loss of a parent. Pretty horrible, pretty horrible, pretty horrible. Okay, and you should be ashamed because guess what? It is not other people's fault. I have no doubt in my mind that there are a lot of people in social media that are just in general, they are hurting. And they want to use everything that they can to hurt people. And it's a false hurt. Honestly, it's false energy that you're sending to somebody else because what you're doing is you're conjuring your own demons and you're just targeting people and trying to send those demons to people, and you're trying to insert yourself into their home. You know, I've seen people do that to where they have absolutely no idea how it feels to raise a child. To be honest with you, all of them are here, walking around, breathing, existing, but they waste their lives. Who cares if you grew up in a disadvantaged situation? Overcome it. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to overcome that. All of us were not born with a silver spoon in our mouth. And then yes, some of us do have parents that even now they just don't want to see us do better than them. You know, I know that there's you know, some of y'all have parents that hate your children, they hate your spouse, they all up in your business. You got a lot of issues, but you still are not justified in harassing other people because of your personal issues and problems. There's a lot of people on here that do that. And they'll try to turn these molehills into mountains. You know, honestly, um, they're looking for any and everything, but what you should be doing is looking at your own trauma and your own pain and what you obviously have. Face it and deal with it. Face it and deal with it is all that you can do. What else can you do? Well, I may sound far away sometimes because I'm turning away and I'm gathering up herbs that are on my shelf. I'm doing some. I'm multitasking. A lot of y'all on here have a hurt inner child, and you go around and you pick apart people because you're trying to satisfy something. When what you really need to do is you need to look to your own family and your own situation and either heal with it, deal with it, or move forward or do something. You can't keep being a disruptive person. You're people and what they're doing, which is none of your beeswax. Okay? And you're trying to act like on someone else's avoid your own life. That's what we're doing here. Nah, deal with pettiness over, okay? And so you got a lot of people doing that and it's sure every single day they want you feel about what you know, and everybody on here is rich. I was rich. I said that I support my. That's what I said. I never said that I. There's probably going to be people that are going to try to stand in my way. Okay, and you know what? There's gonna be people that are gonna try to use my children to try to stand in my way. At the end of the day, what are you going to do? You've got to eventually face your own demons. We all have to. We all have to deal with maybe the family problems that we had, maybe the problems that we had with our. I can tell that in humble opinion, witchcraft, a lot of people that they want to find out because they're scared. People, okay, that means that you are sort of in your lower self. And you're at a low place in your existence and you want to bring somebody down and you're constantly looking for things to bring somebody down. This is not going to heal you. You are never going to heal as long as you're doing that. I can promise you. Because if you just come up to a complete stranger and try to dump all your crap on them and judge them, they have every right to send that back to you. Nobody has to on your problem. Okay? Do I really? Do I really sound far away? Mm, mm. I don't know why I would. I don't know why I would sound far away. Hold on, let me do a sound check on my. Gotta get over that stuff. Going around in a game talking group, nitpicking and tearing apart people and doing all this stuff. That's not going to do you any good. That's not going to make things better for you. They have every right. Nobody has to go to their problem. Okay? All right. Yeah, you can still hear me. And if the sound is too bad, then I guess it just wasn't meant for you to get this message today. Okay. You know, I am addressing the people on here that obviously do have hurt inner children. You got to learn to let that stuff go. You got to learn to let go because guess what you're doing? You're actually causing more harm than good to other people, and you know it. You know, a lot of people on here, they're being very vindictive, they're being very hateful. And you know why? It's because you're miserable. It's because you're miserable because of whatever reason that you have to be miserable. You know, you wake up every day, you have the chance and the choice to do better in life. You have a chance to do better, but instead you choose to go out and you choose to try to do harm to people. And you choose to pick apart over every little thing. It's got something to do with my Bluetooth speaker that's on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn. I'm going to turn the Bluetooth speaker off and. Okay, confirm with me if that's better. Because I did have my Bluetooth speaker connected, and so that may have been muffling the sound a little bit. So I know that y'all used to me being very clear. So let me know if that's better. I apologize for that. Because I was sitting here listening to music and stuff as I worked on this stuff through, through my Bluetooth speaker. I apologize for that. All right, so basically you need to heal your inner child. And I understand Black culture. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I understand Black culture to where, a lot of our people, they think that you are not getting it or making it unless you're able to go and spend up a bunch of money on clothes. With Black people, it's this thing about clothes. Because I had somebody attack me for something that my son was wearing. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, do you know that there are children that are probably locked in a basement right now being abused, and you're nitpicking at me over a shirt? We have a full war going on over in the Ukraine. And so because the mind can't get past the trauma. If you're picking apart, somebody's this or that, you are simply projecting some sort of inadequacy to that other person. Okay? You are projecting your inadequacies to another person, is what you're doing. Okay? And you got to get over it. You got to get over whatever trauma that you had in your childhood. That's why y'all flock to people with children and you harass them constantly. Like I said, growing up, my father had a drug addiction. And you know what? I overcame all of that. It hasn't affected my life since I've been an adult. And I think that a lot of people need to just appreciate what God has given to them or whatever it is that you can do. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed that hurt people hurt people. When you're hurting over something, you want to try to hurt somebody else. How is your life ever going to get better? Your life is never going to get better. It isn't. You're going to be very, very miserable every single day. Okay, so we got to, so for those of you that are being affected by these types of people, you got to understand that they are hurting. They are projecting
their crap onto you, whatever crap that they felt for the day. And it just goes on in a constant cycle, and trying to control other adults, trying to control what people do, trying to control, people's perception of other people, trying to set people up. You want to do setups on people and stuff like that. You're not living a real life because it's constant pain and suffering. When you try to inflict anything onto anybody else, it is because you are not dealing well with whatever nightmares or demons that you're dealing with. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I feel that the reason why it fell on my lap is because I can absolutely help you. I don't feel bad every single day. I don't feel the need to go out and degrade someone else because of my own inadequacy. Now, I will tell you that I know my enemies. I know my enemies, and I will come at my enemies. Okay, especially when they're doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. But just to make a conscious decision to attack people and to berate them constantly, that to me, it seems like that was just your upbringing. Everybody wasn't brought up like that. Okay, everybody wasn't raised that way. Everybody wasn't around all that chaos. People don't like it, and this is the reason why it's a constant cycle, because you're going to constantly get that energy back. You don't have a choice. I've had people that I guess the pain and suffering gets so bad that they just have to do something, and I know a lot of y'all have been abused in your childhood and you just feel trapped, because your parent did not teach you to be self-sufficient. They still run your life. They're still abusing you. And they didn't really give you anything for you to use in the real world. Okay? They didn't give you anything to use in the real world. I know that when I was growing up, everything that I wanted, I had to get it for myself. When I turned the age of 16 and was old enough to work. So y'all know my story. I've told it many times. Okay, and so you just say, and dissing and degrading somebody else does not empower you. Trying to control someone else is never going to empower you, because you show other people more attention than you show yourself. You have to deal with self. If you had a horrible parent, or if you were raised the wrong way, or if your parent is still trying to control your life, then you need to face that parent. You can't go and say, I'm mad, my mother or my father is still trying to control my life, and I'm going to go out and take the stuff out on other people. You can't do that. Okay? You can't do that. And you certainly cannot just continue on this path, because it's a path to nowhere. Okay, people that took the initiative to rise above all of that, that's why they're getting somewhere. So you got people that, they like to try to be destructive, and you're not going to be a destructive force in anybody's life except for your own. Okay, and y'all used to attacking innocent people. Y'all used to that crap. When you get somebody that's able to throw that stuff back at you, then you just keep going and going and going. I can promise you it's just going to be the same cycle. So, those of you that, you feel like, oh my God, so and so and so, this and that, guess what? As long as you got what you got, because I got a group of people right now, they so butthurt, they want to try to get me put out of my house, and they be over there lighting candles. I want her to be homeless, and it's never going to happen. Okay, hold on, let me see if I can get me a wine glass here. Drink me some wine, y'all. I've got wine. Yeah, man, they've been, and I mean, you done spent the past 2 years trying to bring down my house, trying to make me homeless and speaking all this negative stuff that's not going to affect anybody but you, you know. But see, a lot of them, Nikki, at night, they don't have control over themselves because many of them are being, they've been the growth has been stunted completely and totally. They tried to stunt the growth of my son. They attack people's kids, man, and the reason why is because you yourself were attacked as a kid. And you got to get it together because the path that y'all going leads to nothing but destruction. You're not going to be able to hurt innocent people that have done nothing to you. Y'all sort of force your hand on people. You force, especially me as a witch, you force me. These people have ultimately forced me to clap down on them, and I'm going to continue to. I mean, how many times are you going to tell a person that you don't approve of them, and then also being that I'm a witch, okay? Because I have issues with not being accepted because I'm a witch. Even though people will pretend like they're okay with it, at the end of the day, they're not. You don't know anything about that. Stop trying to judge things that you know nothing about. And it's funny how, especially if you're a black girl or a black witch, people don't have no judgment for nobody else. A lot of times, black people, if you have the same, um, if you're the same color, black people think, oh, she black, I can attack her, and I mean, it's just it's terrible. And then we wonder why, some of the things happen to us as black people. Why does it happen? And it happens because a lot of us are not making the correct decisions that we're supposed to be making in the first place. Hey, hold on. And it's you constantly stay in that cycle. Constantly. They don't ever change. They just constantly stay in that cycle. That means that you're not growing, is what that means. That means that you're not growing at all. And that's not good. You're supposed to have some kind of growth by now, but you don't have it. Hey, oh, um, yeah. Yeah, I'm about to get off of here so that I can cook these tacos, making taco salad for dinner tonight. I mean, there's some people on here, maybe all you may have is a sandwich to eat or a grilled cheese sandwich, and you sitting up here, if you come over here and you see Jamila eating some tacos or what are those fries that I made? If you see me cooking something, you feel that you got the right to attack me because, and I've noticed that, but you don't go to none, like, I swear to y'all, I don't even want to think about what B Love went through. Okay. Y'all know B Love's life. It's a lot of people that probably had it out for her. You think people just gonna stop and you'll have a platform and they're so super duper focused. Get off of YouTube. What? I mean, you get off of YouTubers, y'all are strange people. How about you just stop watching? It's here now. So I don't know what these people are going to do. I mean, they are on a constant cycle of misery. And I can promise you that the people that you're attacking, they're not suffering. You're not making an impact on their lives. Unless it's somebody that's kind of ignorant that doesn't, especially if you have witches trying to throw stuff at you. I figured out that I don't have regular trolls on my channel. I have trolls that are practicing witchcraft. So I figured that out a long time ago. Bring me one of them Reese's, Jacob. Did I get two of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring me one. Y'all, I'm about to cook dinner, so I gotta go. Those of you that have a hurt inner child and you're trying to bring down witches and harass them, witches can possibly help you. Witchcraft can help you. It can help you because really, to be honest with you, I'm just going to say this before I go. I mean, there is a spell for everything. And see, that's why I said to the people that are listening that are going through this with people will take your kindness for weakness. They will. They'll take your kindness for weakness. And so if you do have somebody that is attacking you all up in your business, harassing you, not accepting what it is or whatever, there's always a spell for that. You got to pick and choose your battles wisely. And a lot of people are not choosing their battles wisely at all. They're trying to insert themselves into things that that's just like they just recently called DFAX to my house, okay? And I mean, they just, it was a laundry list of crap. And, the lady was like, well, I'm looking at your house and it looks no different from what my house looks like. You know what I'm saying? It looks like you live here. And some of these people, I believe that some of them are hoarders, hiding hoards and stuff. Okay, literal hoard. I don't know why I can't open up this Reese's, y'all. So it's a lot of people on here that need to work on themselves. Stop trying to point the finger at others. There's a lot of people that are very, very different. I'm gonna tell you the reason why you may have grown up with all of that trauma is because, maybe the adults in your life, they didn't have the strength or the ability to fight that back. But you dealing with people sometimes on YouTube that have the ability to fight back. And so what you'll do is you'll come to a witch and you'll do something unfair to a witch. And us witches can tell that our that our work is working on you because you just go on and on. If you send your bad energy to a witch and she sends it back to you fair and square, because all of us got our own shit we got to deal with. If you get that back, making a video or attacking their children is not going to help. It's not going to help the situation. It's going to make it worse for you, is what it's going to do. There's a lot of people on here that need to mind their own business. And I'm not talking about, showing concern for children. It's not actual concern. It's like a false judgment. It's like way out there, false outrage, nitpicking. I'm talking about y'all want to control when people fart, when people eat, when people wake up and go to sleep in the morning. I've actually had a troll call my phone and tell me, like, it's bad when you're coming to people's lives and you're telling them when they should go to sleep. You don't have the right to control when somebody goes to sleep and wakes up in the damn morning. Hell, I may decide to come back later on in the witching hour and do some witching hour readings for the new moon. And, so I've actually had trolls who are stalking me complain about me being up during the witching hours because they got to go to bed and get up in the morning. But they can't stop watching. So they want to control what time, I do readings. Because a lot of times I'll upload readings during the witching hour. You're trying to control people's uterus. And then you're trying to control whether or not people get married, have a baby. You can't do that. You can't control what people do. You can't. Especially when, you're causing more harm, to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're blatantly trying to cause harm to people. And to me, it like I said, I can feel religious folks. It's a lot of them out there. And, I told y'all that religion was created to enslave certain people. So you got to be careful out here. You can't be coming out here with all that crap, because we're fully aware that the religions was created to control other people's power and to try to control their destiny and to create slaves. And there's a lot of indoctrinated systems out there that were created to create slaves that would be more complacent. I mean, look at Putin. He's a control freak, more than likely. I don't really get into politics too much, but from what I can feel is that it's a control freak, and he doesn't care about the lives of the people that he affects. It's just absolutely disgusting. All this war, and for what? Guess who's still in control? The God of this planet, which is who? Who's the God of this planet? Who wants to guess that? Who wants to take a stab at that? Who resides over this planet? Okay, so you just got to remember that. You know what I'm saying? And it's really sad what's going on over there in the Ukraine. And you got people. It's war. Really? Why do you have so much chaos inside of you? Oh shit, that blazed up real good. God dang. What in the frankincense is going on here? I put a little bit of frankincense on this tea light. That bug flared up. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. All right, y'all. So, you I mean, how do you do that for year after year after year? 6 or 7 years of saying, get off of YouTube. No, I'm not. Now what? And I knew it was an apparent problem, when, I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. I think that they want the black people to get off of YouTube. Black people a lot of our own people have turned into these agents of discrimination. And this is something that, I mean, there's always going to be the resistance of that. So you're like a hamster on a wheel. And instead of you accepting reality a few years ago, you decided, I'm never going to give up on this plight. Well, but you're going to eventually have to give up the ghosts. Hello, plug. Hello. And you're going to have to deal with you going to have to deal with a lot. And and ultimately it's going to end up with you in shambles. I warned y'all about this. I've warned all of these people about this. People that come on YouTube and don't actually have any real content. Okay. You can speak your truth. Doesn't mean that I have to agree with it, but yeah, that's fine. You can speak your truth. Well, mm. I'm the one housing the energy on this planet by default. Now, does that sound like a delusion of grandeur, or maybe it's not? I don't know. Everybody wants to rule the world. Okay. Well, yeah, it's good and bad energy, but people that are sending out bad energy, they're just getting it back all the time. I mean, at some point, you're going to have to learn to transmute that stuff. At some point, and so that, ooh, can you pass me those Ziploc bags? Because I want to put these soaps in them Ziploc bags, because I'm getting these ready to get on the website. Thank you, baby. Yeah, we're going to have to, I mean, y'all going to have to come to some kind of absolution about this whole situation. You know what I'm saying? Well, try harder. Everybody needs to try harder. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with you. It was kind of difficult getting my business off the ground, and I did it. And there's a lot of people that tried to tell the lie that I was just some crazy person that was on here, and I'm collecting some kind of crazy check, or government benefits, and I'm just on here just because I'm bored. But in reality, I earn a full income. I support my family. So, and you try to tell people, and they're like, that's impossible. Why? Because I wished bad on you. Well, that doesn't mean that, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I know I ain't crazy. I'm going to tell y'all something. Because I've had people very early on, they like, well, why don't you just leave YouTube? It's too worth it. It's absolutely worth it. It is. I will go through the fire, honey. So that's just where I'm at. Okay. It's an excellent platform to share my ideas, to share my readings, and that's not going to change. And so, yeah, I literally have had people that will come out and they'll say, "Oh, she's lying. She's not." And it's like, but you can't turn. It's ridiculous. I got people that ain't never worked a day in their life try to tell me what I should do. I'm sorry. I spent 20 years in the workforce. It just is what it is. So it's ignorance is what it is. And ignorance is never bliss, because if these people were blissfully ignorant, they wouldn't always have something to say. They wouldn't be going around the internet harassing you, harassing your loved ones, harassing your children. They wouldn't be doing those things, would they? Them soaps that I made smell so good. So good. So, and then you got people that thought they was a whole witch out here. They got that heat smacked down on them, and they had to resort to lying and doing smear campaigns against people, telling fantastic lies on people. It's absolutely preposterous. They keep telling people that ain't gonna work, and so to a lot of people that have smear campaigns against you, you know what to do about that. I actually uploaded the video. You can also do a beef tongue. There's all sorts of ways of the witch. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, everybody in your life will just be able to impede on you. Everybody would be able to. And yeah, any of us can psychically attack somebody. But it's witchcraft goes a lot deeper than a psychic attack. And I think I may be, I think I am going to come back later and we're going to do some Ouija board time. We're going to do some spirit board time. That's me you're talking about. And it's not talking bad about people. I'm really have a dark energy on me. Well, you need to get it off of you, because I'm going to tell you something. Ain't going to do nothing but destroy you. This one smells like lavender and chamomile. So I'm putting my soaps in little Ziploc baggies until I figure out something prettier to put them in. I don't know what to tell these people. I mean, I've seen Black men discriminate against Black women. They don't discriminate against the ones that are making a complete fool of themselves. Usually some of them do. But, if you're on here actually doing something, and as a Black person, that doesn't make me dislike a white person. That makes me dislike you, because you're obviously the problem. And yeah, I do have a couple of white folks on here that have an issue with me. You know what I'm saying? But, at the end of the day, it's no different. It's time for some of these people to get it together. All right, I got all the, you know what? I'm gonna put these in, oh shit. I'm gonna put these in plastic too. Uh, these still smell good, even though they've been sitting out. Yeah, it just, I don't know. I try to educate people. I do need to do more herbal education on here. I haven't had time. Like I said, I was just doing work for a client. So, uh, use them herbs. They work. A lot of y'all, the problem is, and I can recognize it, it's not hurt people, it's curse people try to hurt people. You curse, you got people sending you in tranquil spirits. Somebody tell you how to get rid of it, you don't want to listen. You want to say, oh, that's crazy. You got bad energy in your house, just banish it where it needs to go. Smoke your houses out. There's some people you can tell they do not sage their house. They just wide open to attacks, and instead of and they'll say, oh, well, I don't believe in that witchcraft. Well, saging out your house is not witchcraft, technically. Okay, so you're okay to do that. They do that even in some churches. Some. You'll see some of these Catholic churches, they'll actually have candles up because those candles provide protection. And I'm going to keep it all the way a buck. I would never walk into a Jehovah's Witness church, a Baptist church anymore. I'm sorry. All you see is a preacher up there preaching. You don't see no candles. You don't see no 13 Kings incense going. The only kind of church I would want to visit would be a Catholic church. That's just what it is, because they don't. I'm like, I'm like, did they just purposely dumb down these people? Because I mean, pardon me, but Jesus Christ is a spirit, and sometimes you can even call to Jesus and get the wrong spirit. So I think some of these people, when they go to these churches and stuff, they get the wrong spirit. It'd be something else they be conjuring. And but they'll say, oh, you're a witch. You don't know what you're talking about. It's Jesus. While I attack you with a bad spirit on me. I've seen people do that. And so y'all got to become, some of these people are doing it because, they think that they're worshiping Jesus. But in reality, that's not Jesus, boo. If you keep conjuring a spirit that's making you do evil, and I'm not, I don't consider, some of the stuff like, drinking. Have you a drink, have you a smoke, you can even have you a sexual partner. I don't consider that to be evil. I'm talking about when you are purposely concentrating on trying to harass and attack people. And some of these witches hide behind religion. I've seen several of them doing that. They don't tell you that they're a witch, but I know you're a witch. And if I know you're doing work on me, I'm going to come at you. Okay? I'm going to come for you if I know you're doing work, because you're doing that work. And you think you're fooling everybody, but you're not. You're doing that work. Hell, at least I'm honest about being a witch. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you know, hey, you send me something, I'm going to send it back. If you causing me any problems or inconveniences, then I will curse you. I'm not, I respect a person that's honest. You got people that are hiding, that are scared. Everybody ain't scared. So, I think that in a lot of y'all, whether or not you are here to get clients, whether or not you are here to just get donations, a lot of y'all need to learn professional courtesy for others. They start beefs all the time and then try to make it look like you're the problem. But spirit always knows. You can't lie to spirit. You can't lie to spirit ever, ever. It just is not going to happen. So you're fighting a losing battle when you're trying to impede on someone else's, situation. And and usually the person that lost is lying. That's the person that lost, is the one that starts telling lies and being petty. You obviously lost the war. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta, you just gotta concede. If you've been trying to harm somebody for 6 or 7 years, I mean, what are you gonna do when I'm 99 years old? I finally got you. You died. Yeah. I've had people try to convince me that I'm a little old lady. I'm just an old lady. I'm just 95 years old, ain't I? I was in my late 30s. Still a lot of life left in me. And people was trying to, and most people like myself, you can't convince me of nothing. I'm already convinced. Trust me. I always trust myself more than anybody else. That's just what it's supposed to be. Okay. So just get it together. I mean, I guess if you're, sometimes when I look at this world, I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. When I look at the way of this world and all of that stuff, sometimes I think that your boy R. Kelly is actually innocent. He made that song "Happy People." Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many unhappy people, but no, I'm joking. I didn't watch the trial, so you know what I'm saying. Somebody making a documentary doesn't necessarily mean that a person is guilty, though. You know what I'm saying? But it's just kind of strange and weird, how people try to keep certain that, I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck with you. Okay. That to me is where you need your spirits and you need your deities. So when it comes to people telling lies on me, I always go to King Belial. He's the father of lies. Okay, and what that means is that he's gonna be able to he's gonna tell the world what's a lie and what's the truth. Anyway, it's 6 o'clock. I'm about to cook dinner. Y'all have a good night. It's a waste of time, I can promise you. You just making yourself feel uncomfortable. You're making yourself sick. There's some of y'all out there. I saw one of these witches. This bitch was doing so much that her nose started bleeding. I said, God damn, bitch. I said, why don't you sit down, sip a cool glass of lemonade with some lavender flowers in it and relax? You know, y'all get yourself so worked up, y'all be ready to have a damn heart attack or a stroke. And that's just not where it's at. That's just not, you're supposed to be healing yourself with the craft. You ain't supposed to be making things worse on yourself. I don't understand it. Don't bring it to my doorstep. I don't have nothing to do with it. You know, I'm about to eat. I'm starving. I'm freaking hungry. I gotta go. Well, this world is in turmoil right now, boy. Let me tell you. Ooh, Lord have mercy. You know, it's in turmoil. All right, y'all. I gotta go. Peace to y'all.